All right, guys, we got a special episode today. We've been trying to set this up for a while. One of the legends of the game, someone I look up to, someone that inspires me. We got Sean Hannity.
What's up, man?
How we doing?
First of all, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
I mean, let's see. Dana, White, Elon, Trump, and then you're stuck with me. There's something wrong with that picture. Stephen A., right?
Stephen A. Yeah, a lot of cool people. That's what I love about the pod is we just get to sit down with like cool people like you, get free wisdom. You can't complain.
So
awesome.
The person that made me aware of how big and successful you are, now I'm fully aware of it. By the way, totally aware of Happy Dad, the third largest selling seltzer in the entire country.
Yeah, it's
behind White Claw.
How aware of it? Do your sons drink it or anything? Or?
Yeah. They're like, Dad, you're going to have to drink. My son goes, Dad, you're going to have to drink it on air. I'm like, fine.
We want to have to crack one.
We'll crack one. Absolutely. Hey, see?
Cracking one with Sean Hannity.
Boom. Cheers. Salute. I like it over ice.
Yep.
I mean, that is so awesome.
It's fun. Yeah. We started it like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So we were always doing like drinking in our videos and stuff. So I always knew there was going to be an opportunity to make money in the alcohol space. And like we tried to get a deal with Corona because that's what we were kind of like repping at the time.
Right.
But they just never wanted to do a deal because of the liability. Now that I'm in the alcohol industry, I kind of understand why they couldn't work with us.
Sure. But
we just said, fuck it. Let's just start it ourselves. And
good for you.
Never look back.
This is what I love. I love people. And kind of, this is a big part of my life. I love people that start with nothing and build something. You jumped off the high board every step of the way because I'm pretty aware of your career, right? Yeah. Now you have one of the biggest podcasts in the country. And I just love success.
Well, that's your story too. That's what I know you talk a lot of politics too, but I really wanted to get your come up and your story because you've been on the air 28 years.
No, longer. This is my 29th year at Fox.
29th.
But, okay, what year were you born?
94.
94. I started in radio in 1987.
Holy shit.
So
I wasn't even a
You know what that means? That means I'm really old.
Yeah.
Compared to you.
You look good, though.
I'm really into health, wellness, fitness, nutrition now. I'm like a lunatic.
What's your like day to day like? You were telling me off air a little bit, but what's like a typical day in Sean Hannity's
typical
life?
Day, I get up, I do a workout. Mixed martial arts is a big part of it. Boxing, a lot of core, sit-ups, push-ups, situational self-defense, kind of an eclectic blend of arts, Krav Maga, Kempo, Japanese jiu-jitsu, just situational street fighting, sticks, blades, firearms. We work with all of it. Yeah. I'll tell you, I'm not in an art where I'm trying to get a black belt. I kind of gave up on the belt system.
Yeah.
I do it for fitness, number one, to stay in good shape and stay strong. I also lift, but I don't lift heavyweight. I'm in the best shape of my life at my age.
Yeah, you're looking toned up.
Well, for an old guy, yeah, I'm doing okay, and it gives you energy and gives me focus. And I just dedicate that hour and a half, which is really hard for me to do with my busy schedule. And I, in the end, I'm always glad I did it, but it's hard to do.
And first thing in the morning, it just gets you.
First thing in the morning,
I feel sluggish if I don't work out. Like first thing in the morning too. Like you don't feel good. You know what I mean? And it becomes like an addiction.
Definitely a dopamine factor to it. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
I interviewed Gary Brecker. He was sitting in your chair right there.
He's a good friend of mine too.
Do you like Brecker?
Yeah.
I like him too.
Yeah, he's the
Jillian
best guy.
Michaels.
Best guy.
She is all over me to get rid of my nicotine habit. So that has to go away.
What do you do? Smoke or?
I've given that up and now I'm moving to like Zyn and all these other.
I got Zyn too. What do you got?
I got Zyn too.
Let's see.
Here we go. There you go. Cheers.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna throw one of these in.
They're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I have 100 days, or Jillian Michaels. You ever watch her on The Biggest Loser? She's going to kick my ass if I don't give up completely the vape. Which I still, take a drip.
I feel like Zins are a good alternative, though.
It's a great alternative, and there are I'm trying other brands out there and, seeing which one I like the most. So far, Wintergreen, Zyn.
Yeah. So you wake up in the morning, work out, and then what?
So the rest of my day is just dialed into studying. And I read and read and read and read and read. And really, the key to success, I think, is working hard. I've always known in my career that I'm not the funniest, I'm not the smartest, I'm not the most talented, but I was never going to let anybody outwork me.
Mm.
And it's really hard in this industry to achieve longevity. And I think longevity is a big part of success, because especially if you do it the traditional way. If I was starting out in media today, I would not follow the path that I followed. I would follow your path. And that is do a really good show, reach for the stars, get big people, bring in Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Dana White, Stephen A. Smith, and people like that. Find alternative products to sell, build off that brand, and I would definitely do it that way. When I started, there were only like 200 talk radio stations in the country, or news talk stations. I'm now on 750, which is the largest in the country. I'm pretty, I'm happy about that. But then we also put it on an audio podcast. Then we also put it
distributed everywhere after, yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. And what, 4 million viewers a night, right? Around that?
On TV, yes. On radio, we're over 25, 26 million when you add it all together, because we also podcast it. It's on Sirius XM. It's pretty much everywhere.
Wow.
So I don't ever think about the reach. I just think about every day doing the best show I can do and bringing it to my audience and making it compelling and interesting and entertaining news and information you're not going to get from, the corrupt, abusively biased legacy media that I argue died on November 5th, and they got their asses kicked, and they threw everything that they had at your friend Donald Trump. Everything.
I think they died before, but that was just the official funeral. Right?
All right. I'll take your
I think
words.
They were dead a long time ago, but that was the funeral.
But they tried everything they could for all those years to destroy this man. And what's amazing about Donald Trump, not that you're asking, is that he was facing all of these legal challenges. He put all of his chips in right in the middle of the table. And it was either the White House, or I am certain they would have put him in jail.
100%.
100%. They wanted him in jail.
Yeah.
And he did it for his country, took a bullet in the process, had another would-be assassin. You just got to admire that intestinal fortitude, that strength, that courage, that commitment to the things that he believes in. And I've known the guy 30 years. He's a force of nature. And look what he's doing. I mean, if he is successful at his agenda, I think it'll be the most transformational, consequential presidency in 150 years. This is it.
I agree.
And had we lost, I think we would have lost the country.
I think we would have lost the world too.
Right?
It seems like what Trump's doing is just affecting the whole world now too, which is crazy.
By the way, that's what Elon Musk said. Elon Musk said the same thing. He goes, "You're not going to be able to run off to New Zealand. There'll be no place to go. Well, we are the foundation."
I can even see it too, just based off like our own business and stuff too, like even just social media apps like YouTube.
Right.
I mean, 2 years ago, we were the first podcast that Trump ever did in 2022. Yeah. Dana White set that up for us. And when we did it, I don't know if you know the story, but we uploaded it. It got 12 million views and they deleted it.
What? Who deleted it?
YouTube. So on the podcast, Trump says...
So you were canceled.
They deleted the podcast. And this is only 2 years ago. And now, recently, so after the inauguration, I went to an actual YouTube event. Like, the CEO of YouTube was there. He's actually, like, a great guy, the CEO of Google. And it was an inauguration event. And in the corner, there's a TV, and there's a montage of all the content, including ours, that everyone did with Trump leading up to the election. So I'm like, wait a second. 2 years ago, you guys deleted our shit, and now you guys are here throwing a Trump party? So it's just like... I mean, I think but you can't complain because I think it was good for free speech. And, you see what Meta's doing now, I guess, too. They brought Dana White on.
They brought Dana White, which I think was great.
Yeah.
I actually have had private conversations, I won't reveal them, with Zuckerberg. It's interesting because if you look at before the election, and I'm throwing him a prop here, and people will criticize me for this, but long before the election, he did tell the House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, he wrote a letter, admitted to everything that they did. They were pressured on Hunter Biden's laptop to kind of hold back on the story. They were pressured on COVID information that they didn't want out there. I mean, the whole country was lied to on COVID on a massive level.
So can you even blame him in a sense? Like, if you're getting pressured by the government too, I mean, I'd be a little bit scared, but I guess you got to have balls in a position like that to stand up to it.
You do and you don't. I mean, at that point, they have the power to shut you down and really cause a lot of misery in your life. But wow, that letter was the most powerful thing I ever read. So people say, no, he's doing this because of Trump, but he did it before Trump got elected. So I give him a lot of credit for that. And then he used the Zuck bucks in 2020. His explanation is he did it because he wanted to help during the pandemic, get people out to vote. It turned out to work more on behalf of liberal candidates. And he absolutely promised he was staying out of the 2024 election. He did keep his word on that. In the months leading up to the 2020 election, the FBI was meeting with big tech companies on a regular basis. And they had already confirmed the authenticity of Hunter's laptop in March of 2020. So they knew it was real. And so what they were doing was pre-bunking the laptop story, which they knew would break because they knew Rudy Giuliani's attorney, Bob Costello, had a copy of it and that he was going to drop it. They knew it was coming out. So they're meeting monthly with all these big tech companies. To the credit of Facebook and Twitter at the time, this is before Elon bought Twitter, when that story broke in the New York Post, they were meeting weekly. FBI coming to your office, meeting with you, telling you you may be a victim of Russian disinformation.
Wow.
In the lead up to this campaign. You hear that every week for months. And then the Hunter laptop story breaks. And then they call the FBI. Is this what you've been warning us about? Or is this real? The FBI knew the answer and they wouldn't give him an answer. They didn't tell him the truth. To me, that's corruption. And hopefully they clean that up.
That's crazy. When was the first time you ever met Trump? 30 years ago, you said.
Oh my gosh.
Where did you guys meet?
No, I'll tell you when I first interviewed him, I had just got hired by Fox when it went on the air in 1996.
Okay.
I was a local radio guy in Atlanta, and which was a really cool time.
You got fired, right?
Not in Atlanta, no. I only got fired once when I first started, and I deserved it because I was awful. I was god awful.
So you got fired for performance, not because of views?
Both.
Oh,
I deserved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was awful.
Okay.
But so was everybody else on the station, so the whole station should have been cleaned out. But that was in Santa Barbara, California. Then I moved to Alabama. That was my first professional gig, 1990 to 92. I got a chance to audition in Atlanta in 92, got hired there, which worked out to be a really cool time in my life because then Newt Gingrich was coming into power. And I was the MC the night he became Speaker of the House. Republicans had not had control of Congress for 40 years. Can you imagine that?
wow.
And I was the MC that night. It was a really cool night. And anyway, so then I got hired by Fox in 96 before they went on the air. And then I started doing late night New York talk radio because I wanted to keep doing radio because I love radio.
Mm-hmm.
As you can tell, I don't shut up.
And what were you talking about at that time? Was it like politics at the time too?
I loved politics. I loved issues. I don't know what it was. When I was 10, 11, 12 years old, I would stay up late at night and listen to the pioneers of talk radio. Talk radio was not a big deal.
Mm.
And Rush really took it to like this huge, massive level and forged the path for all of us. And I'm very grateful to him for that because I know we follow in his footsteps and we miss him a lot. That Rush was a genius on every level. Anyway, so Trump would call in to answer your question. I get him to call in. He's like, who the hell is this guy? But I say, can you just call in for like a half hour? Then he'd stay on the phone for an hour and a half. And we began a relationship, and I began to realize this guy's really smart, way smarter than people are understanding. And then fast forward to when he's thinking about running for president, we had a conversation privately about it. And I said, I'll never support you. If you're not going to govern as a conservative, you will never get my support. And that led to a series of meetings, late night conversations. I mean, deep into the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. And we're on the phone. And, he's saying, well, why doesn't Iraq pay for our liberation of Iraq? Why don't they pay us back in oil? And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Smart idea. If we're going to risk American treasure, why shouldn't we? And I went out pretty early for him, and oh my God, I got the crap kicked out of me. Glenn Beck, Ben Shapiro, they probably spent 2 years on the air every day saying that I sold out, that I'm not a conservative.
Wow.
And meanwhile, I did my own vetting of Trump. And it was because of those conversations I really believed in him.
So you supported him in 2016 right away, right off the get-go.
Right out, pretty much right out of the. I was interested in Ted Cruz a little because I like Ted. I still like Ted. He's a personal friend of mine, but I felt Trump could win. I just saw in him an ability that he could break through, and he was iconoclastic and just different. And it was the time for different.
2016 Trump and those Republican debates.
Oh,
that was like prime Trump. I'll go back and watch some of those clips.
Yeah.
Him versus like Jeb Bush.
16 and 17.
That's like prime.
He was brutal.
Yeah.
But that's who he is. He's he's a fierce competitor. The guy that got up and said, fight, fight, fight after he got shot, that's the guy I know. Because in his head, he was thinking, no way I'm going to look weak. I'm getting up.
Yeah.
That day was a tough day. When I saw the blood on his face, I thought they killed him.
How did you hear about it at first?
I didn't hear it. I was watching it live.
Oh, wow.
I watched the whole thing live. And I started to get emotional because when he stood up and I saw the blood, I thought he might drop. I thought he might have been hit in the head. I'm literally feverishly calling everybody that I know that's around him. Is he okay? Is he okay? Is he okay? And in a pretty short period of time, I got back. He's okay. And they only got his ear. 1 millimeter, and this guy's dead.
Looking back, what do you make of that situation? Like, what do you think it was? Just negligence?
Oh my gosh. We need to get to the bottom of it because the level of lying.
Yeah.
I could take a lot of things from my kids. I understand, kids, they're about your age. They're going to mess up. I can deal with that part. But if you look me in the eye and you lie to me, now I'm pissed off. Don't insult. I always would say to my kids when they were young, stop insulting my intelligence. Right?
Right.
And because they're never any good at it. It's like a little kid grabs a cookie out of the cookie jar and they have cookie all over their face, and you told them not to eat the cookie, and they're like, did you eat the cookie? No, I didn't eat the. Stop lying to me.
Yeah.
So they claimed it was that it was the slope of the roof in Butler. Did you see that roof?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could literally in the middle of winter water down that roof, and I used to play hockey and ice skate on that roof.
Yeah.
All right, that's not a sloped roof. I used to be a contractor.
Yeah.
I fell off a sloped roof, nearly 2.5 stories, almost 3. And I was on the 2.5 story, right next to a dormer, and my feet gave out. There was sleet coming down. It wasn't good. I was putting in the last nail of the day of putting up tar paper to kind of protect the roof. And then all of a sudden, my feet gave out. I threw my hammer, tried to slam it into the dormer. Was unsuccessful, obviously. Hit the ground. This part of my arm is dangling.
Damn.
I'm like, I played hockey all these years of my life. All my friends lose their teeth. I didn't lose one. Somehow I managed. You didn't wear a mouth guard. You didn't wear one of those face masks. We barely wore helmets if we did.
Yeah.
I busted up all my teeth. You know, they're pretty now, right? Because now they're perfect.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God I fell off a roof.
Yeah.
It helps me with TV.
So they're blaming the slope as to why
They're blaming the slope. So they just lied through their friggin' teeth. And I don't like being lied to. And hopefully Sean Curran, who's the new Secret Service director, will get to the bottom of it. What I also don't like is the Trump International incident, because there's no excuse. A number of holes around that Trump International course, if you're familiar with the layout of it, a number of those holes are well-known areas on the outside of the fence. It's heavily treed, and it's a known area where paparazzi would go to grab pictures or videos of Trump. Okay, they never swept the area. How do you not sweep that area knowing that the top presidential candidate is playing golf there that day? There's no excuse for it. So I think in both instances, we've got to get to the bottom of it. But back to Butler. So Kimberly Cheadle, who was the Secret Service director at the time, said that, well, we decided it was a slope roof. Now, on an adjacent roof that had a bigger pitch, they had Secret Service agents on there. That's where the guy actually took out the would-be assassin. It had a deeper pitch. And you're telling me that's a slope roof. And then she said, she was genius. She goes, so we decided to put them inside the building. Well, that doesn't prevent somebody from getting on the roof of that building. You should have, surrounded the perimeter of the building. They didn't do that either. So it's scary. I mean, we're the United States of America. We need to protect all our elected politicians. I don't give a shit if it's Obama, Biden, Trump, whoever's in office. You're elected. This is a democratic republic. We've got to protect elected officials, period, end of sentence. No ifs, ands, buts. And they didn't do it.
All right, guys, you guys have seen me putting you onto the MoonPay app for a minute now, and if you haven't tried it out yet, I don't know what you're doing. MoonPay is by far the easiest and best way to buy and sell crypto. Also, they accept almost every form of payment. They have PayPal, they have Venmo, credit card, literally everything on the app. MoonPay is like the PayPal of crypto. You can use MoonPay to buy everything online with crypto. You only need one account, that's MoonPay, and bam, you're tapped into the entire ecosystem. Now, if you guys are into meme coins and you guys want to see what all the hype's about, check out the Vector app. You can actually link it to your X account, and instead of just guessing what's pumping or going down, you can actually see what all your friends are doing on the Vector app. So whether you're deep into the meme coin space or just checking out the chaos, download the Vector app and use code NELK, and you can use MoonPay to buy straight from the app. Meme coins are all over the place, like you guys know, so do your own research, stay smart, but if you are going to send it, use the MoonPay app. Download it. Let's get back into the pod. Why do you think you and Trump have been so close all these years, 30 years?
You're asking me a question that I've never revealed. I don't know if I should. Because nobody in the media has ever understood the nature of the relationship I have with Trump, and I really don't want to talk about it that much. I'll give you a little bit of, I'll give you a preview, if I will, which I've never talked about publicly because nobody's really ever asked. They just write as if they know, and they don't know. Because we have a business relationship where, okay, I've got to interview the president, and then we have a personal relationship where I consider him a close friend. And he's one of the funniest, most gregarious, generous people, charming, that you'd ever meet in your entire life. I wish America knew the Donald Trump in person that I know that you met. And I know him a little deeper, so we'd probably go a little deeper than...
Yeah.
He is wickedly funny.
Wickedly. I've had some off-camera moments with him,
Oh my
too, and
gosh.
he's just hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times we'll talk and we're just laughing the whole time.
He's just one of the guys.
Just cut up. We're just cutting up and having fun. I don't want to date this show, but I had Kid Rock on last night, and he was there with Dana White and Bill Maher.
Saw that.
And I got the lowdown on that meeting. And apparently Bill Maher was really nervous, which is interesting. He seems like a pretty confident guy. I don't like his politics, but I think he's talented. It went really well. Could you imagine Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama ever inviting Sean Hannity to the White House or you to the White House?
No chance.
Never going to happen. And that's Trump. That's what makes him special.
What do you think? Did they agree on anything, or did they get to like...
Yeah, they did agree on stuff. Kid Rock said they agreed on wokeism. They agreed on securing the border. How could you not agree on securing the border?
Securing the border, and also how there's still some Democrats that are still pro like men and women sports, like the governor of Maine. I feel like that really lost in the election too.
The Senate just had an opportunity, and Democrats in the Senate, they had a chance to prevent men from playing women's sports, and they voted against it. They have doubled down on dumb, dumber, and spectacularly stupid.
That's not even liberal. That's woke. That's
insane.
Just crazy. I feel like that was the main reason why they lost too, because a lot of people saw that and they're like, I don't agree with this.
Here's the Democratic Party today, and tell me if I'm wrong. They champion the rights of men to play women's sports, right? They're the party that is putting the rights of people that are illegal immigrants that didn't respect our laws, borders, sovereignty, over the safety of Americans. We've had dozens of Americans killed. It's not just Rachel Morin, Jocelyn Nunn-Gary, Laken Riley. I used to scroll during the campaign the list of Americans murdered, the list of Americans raped, the list of Americans that were victims of violent crime by Biden-Harris illegal immigrants. So they become the champions of the rights of illegals over the safety of Americans. They champion men's rights to play women's sports. Then they complain it's a constitutional crisis when we discover that they spent hundreds of billions of our hard-earned tax dollars on DEI, wokeism, transgenderism, the Green New Deal, not even in America, in every other country around the world. And we're a country with $37 trillion in debt going through the roof, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, they're all headed towards insolvency. The average American makes $66,000 a year. What the hell are they thinking if they're going to spend our money that way? They think that's a constitutional crisis?
It's scary, yeah. I wonder what it is. I even saw a few weeks back when all the mayors came of sanctuary cities and they got just absolutely grilled.
Oh.
And you're just listening to them talk and it's like,